John, another strong second half overall, no disrespect meant to Indiana State. Was that the kind of performance that you would have liked to have seen from your football team?
I guess, you always want to be better. Would have liked to see us run the football better, those kind of things. I think, too, I think Indiana State's a lot better on defense than a lot of people give them credit for. I mean, we watched them against South Dakota State. That game was 3-0 at half. I think, in my mind, I thought I knew that we would, it would be a battle from the defensive standpoint. As far as that was concerned. But again, I think you always shoot. You like to go out and score 50 every game, and do that. No, I'm not being. I mean, you always want to do better. I think again we have the ability to watch film, and I think I knew it was going to be a lot tougher than maybe a lot of folks thought it was going to be. I think they're an improved football team. Their struggles have come on offense. I felt going in and hoped we could play good defense. Thought we could. They're young, they're freshmen on the offensive line. I'd been through a couple quarterbacks. And our kids were pretty highly motivated. They had gotten run up and down the field on them the year before. So I think, from a defensive standpoint, I think our guys knew the task at hand. And again, I think that was an area we needed to play good going into that game. We needed to be able to play good defense because that was where they were the youngest. Defensively, I thought they would be pretty solid because that's what I saw on film. So, kind of had some idea of what we were getting into. Obviously, I'd like to see us run the football more and do a better job there. But I think once we found some areas late in the game, we were able to do what we needed to do.
Coach, you head home on a roll, 3 straight, and now an important stretch here.
Amen. I can't wait. I think our kids are excited. We've been on the road 3 out of 4 weeks. The travels to Boston, and nice trip. And, to Indiana State. I mean, our kids were up on Friday morning, and one weekend at 4, and last weekend at 5:30, and on the road, and 16 hours in the bus, and all those things. So our guys will be thrilled to death to be at home. And I think it also allows you to rest a little bit, and I think it gives you a little bit more preparation time. And I think we're allowed to allows us to use Friday, and when you're traveling, it's really hard to do that. Regardless of unless you're just flying in and landing and go do all the things that you do at home, it's pretty tough. So I think it's a huge benefit to play back at home.
John, is Steve just missing them? Or
yeah, those two, he kicked him right where he was kicking them. And that's what I told him when he came off. Last couple extra points, and he kicked him right where he was kicking them. And I don't know if he's, we talked about, watched it yesterday, whether his steps were off or what, but those balls went right where he kicked it. They were flat right where he kicked it. I told him that when he came off the field. The ball's going right where you're kicking it. So, we looked at all his footwork and steps and all those things yesterday. And the last two, he nailed down the middle. They hit the film bar right in the middle of the goalpost. So, just whether it was stance, how he got lined up on that hash or what. But, I think we'll be okay.
Has he lost any confidence at all, or?
No, I don't think I have because I saw.
Has he lost confidence?
Well, I don't think so. I think I think he's probably a little. Dane, I think in fairness, he's probably a little bit disappointed in himself because when you go back and watch it, I mean, he said the same thing. Shoot, that's right where I ended up. That's right where it was going. And like I told him, it's like anything else. You've got to figure out whether it was your steps that you took, or you're off a little bit, or the hash marks or whatever it was, and you try to sort through things. But you have to watch. With kickers and punters and quarterbacks, and you start messing with them, and then you got real issues. I think he has to just get refocused and put his foot down the middle of the goalpost, and I think he'll be fine. I mean, all of them had leg enough and distance enough, and I don't think there's any question there.
Coach, you face, of course, Missouri State this week, and then the month of October, 3 of the 4 are here at home. But some of the better competition now in the conference, traditionally, and also top to bottom. What can this team learn about itself facing this team? How important is this next?
Well, every game is important. Our seniors spoke last night. They all know. Our veterans know what's at stake. And, again, you try to explain to guys. Going to Indiana State, I don't care what the records are. I've said it a zillion times. It doesn't matter. All this stuff, that stuff does not make any difference. You're going to have to go play as good as you can play every Saturday. to have a chance. That's just to have a chance. And then you're going to have to make some plays. There's going to have to be an interception. There's going to have to be a great catch. There's going to have to be a punt. There's going to have to be something that changes the game and allows you to win. But our players, a couple of them got up and spoke last night to the team of what we're getting into, where we're headed. The good news is we don't play them all in the same day. We just play them one at a time. And again, that's what the players last night. I mean, they know what's happening and which way we're headed. And I mean, it's not like they don't sit and look at unlike me, I don't, but I know kids do in the media and, the internet, all those things. Those kids are looking at stats and who would, because that's how they are. And so you just try to bring it out. Here's where we are. Here's where we're going. And what do we have to do this week to have success? And we're going to play a team this week that's just highly motivated. And again, our seniors last night, they understand what it's like to have a loss. We've been in that situation. We're going to play the best Missouri State team that has played yet. No question. That's who's going to show up here Saturday night. And our guys have to understand that, and I think they do. Now we have to prepare and do the things that we need to do on our end. But we know who the enemy's going to be because that's how this conference works. So, and again, I think that was all brought up by the seniors in front of the team. So I think they got a handle on it.
Other than that attitude that Missouri State's going to bring in, what are the things that create the greatest challenges for you?
They're guys. I mean, obviously the players, the quarterback, the tight end, the linebackers, the group. But to me, it still comes down to our prep. We've got to match preparation. We've got to prepare as hard as they're preparing, understanding that we have to play well too. And that was also brought up that regardless of what they're doing, it's very important that we handle ourselves, that we study film and practice well on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and use Friday as an extra day to practice and get more reps and more film study that we sometimes don't get. I think that's just part of it. Our guys will prepare and we still have control of ourselves, and that's what has to happen this week.
As you watch on tape, from an offensive standpoint, putting up some numbers, but what impresses you?
Well, the quarterback, the tight ends, he's really special. The quarterback the play is never dead. His play is going on forever. So you have to be smart with what you're doing. You can't leave coverage. You have to stay in your rush lanes. You've got to contain to do all those things. So those things are important. I think up front, Harkin's a tremendous offensive lineman. He's really good. They run the no huddle spread. They know what they're doing, and they got guys that can do it. So I think their people probably make you as nervous. And now they're in their third or so year of what they're doing, so I think they're pretty good at it.
What makes the tight end special?
He's really athletic. Jim, can run like wide out and block like a tight end. He goes running down the seam, and you better run fast because he can really run. He runs like a wide out and blocks like a tight end, like a lineman.